Hi, I'm Lada from astrolada.com, and this is Cancer 2019 December, the last month. And this is for anyone who has either Sun, Moon, or Rising in Cancer. Cancer, how are you feeling? For the last 2 years, Saturn has been in your seventh house, opposing, if this is Cancer here, seventh house is always opposite, and it means relationships. And Saturn, the planet of testing, having gone through your seventh house, can indicate that for some of you might have gone through testing time in relationships, or maybe still are going. Maybe things were going very slowly. Maybe you were locked in a relationship that you're unhappy, but Saturn is like chains. It locks you and in a situation that neither goes better nor worse. Some of you might have felt like the spark or passion in a relationship has disappeared because Saturn has a lowering vibration, a vibration of, yes, it can stabilize things, but it makes it very mundane, very routine, almost like a duty. Some of you maybe had, maybe some of you had increase of duties in relationships. You had to take certain commitments together with your partner. Maybe your partner, or if you've met anyone, they were older than you, which is Saturn, or they were very busy, having to work very hard with a lot of problems of their own to solve, some new beginnings that they're going through, or like things are happening very slowly for them. They're building something, but it's not seeing the fully the results that they want. Well, this is Saturn in the seventh house. So maybe you're locked in some contract or agreement that's dragging on, that is maybe too burdensome of some sort, or in worst case scenario, you might have felt a lot of pressure from a partner that criticizes you, is dissatisfied with you, whether personal or business partner, or you are dissatisfied and kind of meh situation in a business partnership or relationship, or that there is some kind of stagnation with your client, stagnation with some contract or relationship of some sort, or some tests that have been happening. I remember when Saturn was opposing my planets, my partner was really hard on me, was constantly felt more like a father figure than, because Saturn has this energy of a father figure, of you should do that, you should not do that, like a restriction and stuff. And maybe you also might have felt a bit dissatisfied with partner being too busy. Like my husband is Cancer, and for the last 2 years all I've been doing is working and complaining and kind of drawing out the juices out of our relationship, because Saturn has a drying influence, desiccating influence. But I have good news for you, because Jupiter is about to join the Saturn in your seventh house, and Jupiter is the opposite. If Saturn is like winter, Jupiter is like spring. Jupiter is wet and warm. These are the conditions for new birth, for new birth to happen. In the spring, wetness and warmness is what all the new flowers spring from. And Jupiter from December 2019 to December 2020, for 1 year, will be in your seventh house, bringing spring in your personal relationships. So for some of you, it can mean that over the next 12 months, some of you will meet someone new that brings a breath of fresh air in your life. And actually a lot of marriages will happen, in long-term relationships, because Saturn still continues to be in 2020 in your seventh house, so it can solidify something, make it stable. But Jupiter brings new energy. So for some of you, might be revival of love, might be that you feel again enlivened, like spring has come in your personal relationship, that the life of your partner becomes a bit easier, and there is more support there, and they become a source of more joy in your life. Jupiter is joy, is happiness, and that they become happier themselves, and because of that you also will feel happier yourself. For others, it can mean that if they're in stagnant relationship, this Jupiter going into their seventh house can finally move things, can finally, maybe someone else can appear now, and they can leave a relationship that's unhappy. Or maybe if it's a business partnership that's stagnant and too difficult, that it gets revived, renewed, or that a new business partnership appears, or a better contract for you. Uh, or if you're single, it can mean that now you're finally going to meet someone, not only meet, but take it to the next level. So I'm excited for you, Cancers. A lot of you have complained about having difficulties in relationships, or others that their partners are having difficulties because Saturn is in the house of others, of your partner. But professionally, it might have been quite good because Saturn is professional relationships in the seventh house. So maybe it has been good for some of you Cancers in regards to career. Most of your relationships might have been focused around business or work or responsibilities. And with Jupiter entering there now, also now relationships are coming to a life, personal business that will be enlivening, that will be more inspiring, that will be with foreign people rather than just serious or old people, or that will be with people that are open-minded, excitable. Also, your partner or someone else can enter your life that brings you new hope, that brings you new perspective, that good opportunity will start coming to you from others. And those new beginnings you're going to start noticing towards the end of December, after the full new moon, which is with Jupiter, new moon eclipse. It's a solar eclipse with Jupiter. So Jupiter then gets programmed for its stay for another 11 months in your seventh house. So the ideas or the opportunities that you experience through another person, the good things that will come to you from others, the ability to expand your audience, to expand your influence, to expand your clients, to expand even your business interactions, to expand your influence on others, which is the seventh house as well. Or improvement in your relationships, whether through new person appearing or whether through things taking a better turn in your personal relationship. You'll start seeing them after the eclipse on the 26th of December, after the new moon basically in Capricorn with Jupiter. The seeds will be sown then. But before that, because it's an eclipse after all, in December there can be some crisis in relationship. And it might be, let me just go a little, and by the way, to find out more about Jupiter and Saturn in the 10th house, plus what's going to happen in 2020 with Mars going retrograde in your 10th house, with so many important events as well happening and all the eclipses, you can check out my 2020 videos for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. It's an hour and a half, and it's very in-depth. We have 10,000 of those videos sold and with no refunds. So hopefully, this information will be useful to you, and check them out. But let's see more specifically about December. Now, what other events are happening? I'm going to bring here the background from the 2019 transit calendar from Lada to look at December. And by the way, the 2020 transit calendar is also out. It's interactive. You can click on any of those positions and it takes you to the right text, and it's 118 pages. It's the fourth calendar I've been making because it's so hugely popular. So it's discounted at $20 for 2 more weeks only. So take it, it's only $20. After that, it becomes $30. So what is happening? You see, first Jupiter becomes invisible, then Saturn becomes invisible, both in your seventh house. And then we have this eclipse in the seventh house. So yes, Jupiter is already there. It's going to make things easier. It's going to bring new opportunities in your relationships, in your business as well, which is the seventh house, in your interactions with others. Opportunities will come there, but or the things will become better for your partner as well. But before that, there might be some little crisis, because with disappearance of planets in the seventh house, it might be like someone first has to leave your life. Maybe some chapter in the life of your partner will end with one of those 2 planets becoming invisible with the eclipse on the 26th. You have to let go of something first. Might be, for some of you, might be actually first ending of a relationship. And especially a lot of Cancers have had some really karmic relationship in their life. It might not necessarily be sexual one. It might be just involvement with another person through business, through collaboration or whatever. I was a client, but it had a heavy connotations to it, like burdensome, like maybe even resentful, or like some karma you have to fulfill or pay back off to this person, And because Saturn is becoming invisible, this heavy planet, maybe they can be the ending of such a commitment towards someone, the ending of such commitment, or it might mean that some difficult commitment in the life of your partner is ending, is being completed. So Saturn becomes invisible. So those responsibilities that have been keeping them very busy and maybe straining the relationships or making it more aloof and more distant, they're finally finishing. And there is the ending of some kind of a relationship burden or some relationship responsibility that your partner has, or mutual commitment that you have together with your partner. Some responsibility you have together might end or give its results when Saturn is becoming invisible. In the worst case scenario, it's like ending of a relationship, but don't think it's the worst thing. If it ends, it is the right thing to happen, because Jupiter then is getting fructified by the new moon. What is the new moon? Sun and moon together. And Jupiter, their mother, father, what are they giving birth to? Jupiter. New ideas, new opportunities, the seeds for new opportunities in your relationships, personal or business, with clients or with marriage partner, in the life of a marriage partner or committed partner, will appear starting after the eclipse. Yes, first there might be some crisis that happens there, especially if you're Cancer born around the first 7-8 degrees of Cancer, which means if you're the June born Cancers. So there can be some big events, it's especially 24th, 25th, 26th born Cancers, or even 27, 24, yeah, around those days, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, if they're at 4 degrees basically in Cancer, you're having the full new moon opposite you. You're going to be most affected by this eclipse. Other Cancers might just feel it much weaker, or not with specific outer event, more like an internal event, that something is shifting in their relationship, something is changing, a new beginning is starting. But for those that I mentioned, the June born Cancer, so the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 degrees Cancer, Sun, Moon, rising, wow, this new moon eclipse is happening right on those degrees in the 7th house. Some total turnaround, 180 degrees. It might be the meeting of a fated partner. For example, very often, a few days before or after an eclipse, you can meet a fated partner, business, personal partner. I had an eclipse on my 7th house last year, and I met a really fated business partner. It was the biggest business partner I've ever met. So it was like, wow. But with Ketu, you might have to sacrifice for something, let go of something because of a partner. And then those new opportunities will start pouring into your life after that. Okay, what else do we have? We have Jupiter in Capricorn. We talked about it, more in depth about it, as I said, the 2020 videos, an hour and a half for the whole 2020. Mercury is going into Gemini. Gemini for you is in your 6th house. So that means what are you going to talk and think a lot about? What will your mind, Mercury, will be most busy with from December the 9th till the end of the month? With work, 6th house. Or maybe you'll be talking and speaking a lot about your health. You'll be talking and speaking a lot about different diets, and maybe Mercury is planning, organizing your daily routines. You'll be 6th house is daily routines. It can bring more order, more organization, Mercury, more planning in regards to your work, in regards to your work environment, your daily environment, your health routines, more preoccupation, maybe watching documentaries on health, reading such books, talking about such things, and any work projects as well. So maybe also increase communications with colleagues, with clients, with those from your workplace, or with those with employees. Also thinking and communicating, or maybe working on some work project with a small group with employees and such. And you might be also thinking and talking a lot about other six and trying to put order and manage not only work, but matters concerning 6th house is debt. 6th house is also talking about injustices, about enemies, engaging in some communication with those people that are 6th house in ancient astrology is enemies, people, your adversaries. So engaging in some communication with such people, which usually is kind of unbalanced. But on the best case scenario, it's even getting quite engaged mentally with helping others, because this is the Virgo sixth house energy, with helping those in need. And that's very much in spirit with the Christmas mood, yeah. And maybe helping those that are a bit less fortunate than you with your skills, with your communication abilities. Then we're having Venus entering Aquarius on the 20th. And that for your Cancer is your 8th house. So when Venus, and Venus is gonna be there from the 20th of December till the middle of January sometime. So that wherever Venus goes, it makes things easier for you there. You enjoy them more. 8th houses, taxes. Some of you might be enjoying or getting a helping hand from someone with your taxes. Some of you might receive help, some bonus from another, or some present. 8th house is what we receive from others, presents. Maybe you're in for better presents from your loved ones this year, Cancers. You can receive some help or support from another. Also, it can indicate more intimacy. Sharing secret with a person, with your partner, for example. The sexual connection tends to become more intense when Venus enters and you enjoy it there. Another thing that can happen is receiving something from another. We talk asking for help and receiving it easily. So do ask for help after the 20th of December. You'll receive it. Also, if you're in business and these are your clients' money, then you can receive more. With more ease. You can receive more orders. Your clients' money comes to you easier. Or if you're trying to find the right resources for your business, the right materials, when Venus enters on the 20th there, it's going to be easier for you to receive that, to find the better materials and such, and and resources that are supplied to you from some other place. Intimacy is it also 8th house, the house of secrets, of secret lovers. I don't know if you have that. There can be something starting there for some of you. Or 8th house is the occult, the invisible. A lot of you might start enjoying delving into astrology videos, into your chart, to understand yourself. The 8th house is to dig to the bottom of something and really understand it, like a Scorpionic. 8th house is energy of Scorpio, even though it's in Aquarius for you. Try to understand it through some system of knowledge, whether astrology, whether psychology. But it can be a good time where you get a lot of joy from self-analysis, from reading about forbidden topics, about more taboo, more topics, about more occult topics as well, of any sorts, on tarot and such things. Okay. But also the obsessive tendencies in relationships tend to increase for a little bit when Venus is in the 8th house. The very desirous and even suspicious tendencies, or tendencies to want to put a spell on you, but they can be intensification of the emotional union with someone, of the intimacy with someone. Well, that's what we have. And of course, Mars continues to be in your 5th house, Cancer, the whole of December. So you can be very active physically with children, or some creative projects, with amusements and entertainments, and with some sports as well. It's a fantastic time when Mars is in the 5th. Sports and creative activities of any sort. The only problem is that there can be some fights also with lovers. 5th house is dating with loved ones, or with children as well. But as I said, Jupiter is already in your 7th house. It's going to try and get things better and better for you, relationships, gradually from December on to 2020. Thank you so much, Cancer. Do check the 2020 video horoscopes, 90 minutes. It's only $9.99, or the calendar, which is $20, 180 pages, interactive astrology calendar, like you see behind. Thank you.